Hi, I'm Danny Cross, and this is my podcast on physical literacy and how it can improve physical inactivity levels in the UK and worldwide. Physical activity is defined as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. To stay healthy, adults aged 19 to 64 should try to be active daily. They should do at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity, such as cycling or fast walking every week. Strength exercises can be included on 2 or more days a week that work all the major muscles: legs, back, chest, shoulders and arms. What is physical inactivity? Physical inactivity is a term used to identify people who do not get the recommended level of regular physical activity. Physical inactivity is one of the leading risk factors for death worldwide. Insufficient physical activity is a key risk factor for non-communicable diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer and diabetes. Physical activity has significant health benefits and contributes to prevent NCDs. As we know, global inactivity is on the rise. More than 80% of the world's adolescent population is said to be insufficiently physically active. But as we know, physical activity is beneficial. As you can see from the graph, physical activity greatly increases years of life, even if the guidelines are partially met. So what are the reasons why inactivity is on the rise? In the UK, physical inactivity is also a major problem. As you can see from the graph, the UK is way ahead of other countries compared with inactivity stats, 20% higher than the USA. 58% of women and 65% of men in the UK in 2014 were obese or overweight, and obesity prevalence has increased from 15% in 1993 to 26% in 2014, as well as there being 6,032 finished consultant episodes in NHS hospitals with a primary diagnosis of obesity with a main or secondary procedure of bariatric surgery. Physical inactivity is known for having negative health repercussions. The following are some of the health problems that occur when humans become inactive. Hypertension, which is also known as high blood pressure, is one of the main risk factors for having serious medical conditions develop, such as stroke or kidney disease. Physical inactivity can contribute to heart disease in a few ways. The efficiency of coronary blood flow is impaired in people that are inactive. Another link between inactivity and heart disease is cholesterol levels. One of the main factors that contribute to heart disease is high cholesterol. The phrase "use it or lose it" really does apply when referring to the bones in the body. Without proper physical activity, over time the bones can become weak. When this occurs, the condition is known as osteoporosis, which can cause bones to fracture easily. The final one is cancer risks. Physical inactivity contributes to the risk of colon cancer in a few ways. Waste moves through the colon slower in people who are sedentary. This increases the time the waste spends in the colon, which may allow the colon to be exposed to possible carcinogens for a longer period of time. It is a well-known fact that obesity is on the rise in younger people. More than 1 in 5 children are overweight or obese when they begin school. Almost 1 in 3 children are overweight or obese by the time they leave primary school. Obesity rates the highest in the most deprived 10% of the population, approximately twice that of the least deprived 10%. So how can we try and deal with physical inactivity and the effects of it? Increase facilities, rewards. These examples are great short-term ideas to help people lose weight over a short amount of time, but how can we get people to exercise from when they are young to when they are fully matured adults? Education in the form of physical literacy is a great way of getting people to see the benefits of physical activity, keeping them active once they leave school, and most of all have fun and feel included in this scheduled time for physical activity during the school day. Physical literacy. But what is it? The physical literacy theory outlines the need for every child to become physically literate in all different types of movement and a catalogue of technical skills to take part in physical activity at every stage in their life, with some believing it to be as important as reading and writing. For example, Margaret Whitehead, who heads the World Health Organization Collaborating Centre for Policy Research on the Social Demands of Health, defines it as the motivation, confidence, physical competence, knowledge and understanding to value and take responsibility for their engagement in physical activities for life. Physical literacy is based on transferable skills. When a child is learning to read, they first learn words such as cat, sat, mat. Similarly, as a child learns physical skills, they learn skills such as how to run, jump, throw, and balance. This is the same way that everything learned during physical literacy will be transferable to everyday life and physical activity in adulthood. For example, a young child can put a series of movement skills together that could be made to partake in physical activity, for example, swimming or cycling. But what does this allow you to do? Developing the correct skills to allow children to try anything they want in a safe environment mean that a young child is more likely to grow up enjoying physical activity rather than dreading it. The positive experiences they gain from partaking in physical literacy allows them to build upon their intrinsic motivation with confidence in the skills they have to always be physically active during their life. The self-determination theory. What is it and how does it link with physical literacy? Self-determination theory, or SDT, is a theory of motivation. It is to do with helping, supporting natural or intrinsic tendencies to behave in effective and healthy ways. This self-determination theory has three parts to its model. A is for autonomy. It is important that the children perceive they have choices and they can self-determine what they want to do. This is the main reason why conventional physical education doesn't work. The second part is belonging. It is important that children have a sense of belonging. They need to feel they are being cared about in order to learn and develop their skills. The final step in the model is confidence or competence. It is important that there is an appropriate level of challenge for everyone. This is on an individual basis to keep everyone engaged and progressing at an emotional safe rate. But what does this help to develop? The self-determination theory helps to develop the intrinsic motivation that is key for children to develop their physical literacy skills, to become physically active once they leave school and are not forced to do activities they do not enjoy. Many people believe that physical education is an outdated approach that discourages a large majority of the children participating in physical activity once they leave school. Physical education does not only the steps of physical literacy, which allow the children to develop at their own rate in a safe environment while always being challenged. It also does not involve the self-determination theory, which gives the foundation for people who go on to be physically active later on in life. This will lead to more people being active as an adult. They will have less health issues, which is better for themselves personally and also the government, who will save money on the NHS, which can be spent elsewhere.